What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chapter channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Links. His likes, his lots. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Not my best start, that's for sure. Devin Vassell decided to not knock down shots. 3 for 9 here in the first half thus far. Hopefully you can get it going here a little bit. They're down 15 right now. 15, is that what it ended up closing at here at the half? Let's double check. 13, that's cool. But yeah, 3 for 9 shooting, 1 for 3 from 3, 8 points. We need him to drop down and get his eagle on, girl. That is for sure would be very, very helpful. But of course, we're also, it's just kind of been a weird slate overall so far. Obviously, a lot of it left to go. We haven't had either of the games tip off in the evening window, but recording a little bit early here. There's one team that's on a back-to-back that we'll be talking about there from that evening window, so that'll be fun. Boston High looking at you, of course. Hopefully they can get it done here tonight for myself, producer Jacob, all of the good people, all of the people. Anywho, friends, you got Odd Chopper to sign up for down below. We've got BetMGM. We'll talk about them later, but 10 games, count them, all the hands. 10 games here on this Wednesday. Massive slate, massive opportunity to make some money. Kind of a clear-cut card to me, which is a little bit strange because generally there's a ton of pieces that we're waiting on news. I think there's some pretty advantageous spots here. So let's just kind of get to it, and then I'll talk about other stuff later. Producer Jacob, without further ado, let's get to the picks. We begin our day with Donovan Mitchell, home revenge, or I guess it would have been in Utah revenge. That's where it'd really be revenge. But he's playing in Cleveland here, taking on his former team that's starting to get healthier. And is it a little bit jarring to you, as jarring as it was to me, to see 6.5 be the opening number here? 6.5 is a pretty low number, and I will say, tried to go out of my way to pick on Utah. Didn't know what to make of Lauri Markkanen's minutes there right from the get-go as he came back from injury, but seems as though we're just going to get a healthy dose of him knocking down every shot this side of the Mississippi, or the other side of the Mississippi where he normally is. Because so far, shooting better than 50% since he returned, shooting right around 40% from 3 since he returned. I mean, this is just a ridiculous allotment. What, 7 for 18? Okay, so a little bit worse. Well, not right around that. Just a little bit of love below 40%. Anywho, we are looking at a really good version of Lauri Markkanen here. Apparently, he is worth 5 first-round picks, according to Utah. What? That seems incorrect. Seems incorrect to producer Jacob, too. He's the one who called it out yesterday. I mean, I saw the blurb, but like he was very upset. And he's a real person, I promise. He showed up one time. Maybe he'll show up again later. Probably for the Boston segment at the end of the game, or at the end of the slate, so stick around. But Utah, friends, this is definitely a spot where I think this number is a little bit too thin. Yes, Evan Mobley is still going to be out for a long damn time. One of the better two-way players here in the association. I mean, this season, it's so sad because he was shooting, what, 57% from the field? Shooting, well, I mean, he's only shot, what, 5 threes all season long from, well, that was at home. 2 for 10, 20% from 3. He doesn't shoot threes is what I'm getting at, but he doesn't need to because he's defensively just an absolute monster, the USCD product. So what do we do here? Well, I think it's pretty clear cut to me. Jared Allen playing more minutes. I like getting these other bench rotation pieces in. Yeah, Darius Garland out. That's for sure going to be an issue, but Karis LeVert, Isaac Okoro, who's only out there to play defense. I find myself wanting to back 6.5 here for a small little number. Now, I am worried about the timing of this bet, and here's kind of why. I do think that there's an opportunity for Utah to have some pieces that, I mean, you've just gotten weird starting rotations nonstop here. Taylor Horton-Tucker getting added into the mix. Fontecchio there, but Clarkson, George, Yurtseven, those are the 3 guys we know are confirmed out. And none of them really feel like guys that are positive EV basketball players here at the moment. By that, Keontae George, he will be good eventually. Jordan Clarkson, we know he's a black hole, but Colin Sexton, revenge in his heart? I don't know. It's a very small. The timing of the bet, meaning that I think that there could be some money that comes in on the Utah side for whatever freaking reason. So maybe wait. I already bet it, though, because that's what the like means. Half unit, 6.5, we move on. 2 locks that exist on our card today, and this is one of them. It shouldn't surprise you. The Charlotte Hornets taking on the Indiana Pacers has a big total, but is this total big enough under the circumstances? What do I mean by that? Well, it means that the Pacers, my friends, have just been absolutely print fest for us when Tyrese Halliburton has been active on some of these overs all season long. You should know by now because I cite them every single show. Over the course of this season, the 25 games that the Indiana Pacers have played, because again, 25 are counted the one play-in tournament game. We are disregarding that here. 13-13 record otherwise. But 19-6 to the over. 19-6. Two of the games that didn't go over, Tyrese Halliburton was out. 19-4 on games with one dude. Now, it shouldn't surprise you that when you dig into the numbers on Tyrese Halliburton and the pace numbers, because again, the Pacers, they're living up to their I almost said logo, to their team name here. They have been playing with pace here throughout the entire season, no doubt about it. But Tyrese Halliburton, he is a first percentile defender, negative 2.8 EPM on the defensive side of the ball, as bad as it gets. It's okay because he's 100 or a 99th percentile, depending on where you look. Basketball Reference, Dunks and Threes, those were kind of high ago. But we're talking about the best offensive player in the association, right up there with Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. Yeah, that's how premier he has been there. So he adds nothing of value whatsoever on the defensive side. He adds everything of value on the offensive side, and a 91st percentile true shooting percentage at 66.2%. Knocking down threes at a 42.9% clip, a career high, even though he shot over 40% every single season of his career. So 4 years, that's pretty damn good stuff. I love getting him out on the floor here, and he loves to run and gun. He loves to go jump up and down, jump around, woo, jump around, woo. Oh, and Charlotte on the other side of this one. They've been playing slower than you might expect for a Charlotte team that in years past, alongside LaMelo Ball, they just got out and run. They run. But now you've got a true center out there in Nick Richards that's been playing some more minutes. But PJ Washington got back into the fold. Gordon Hayward, I know he's got a questionable illness here, but I think he ends up suiting up for this one. And Mark Williams continues to be doubtful. So that's one true center that you're taking off the floor. There's iterations against Indy here where if Miles Turner doesn't play, who's questionable himself, they could be going very small ball as well. And I think there's more ways that this game shoots out than not. And I repeat, 19-4 to the over in games Tyrese Halliburton's appeared for the Pacers. Yeah, the books have been adjusting these numbers. They've gone higher. And as I said before, Charlotte sitting there at 99.4 possessions per 48 minutes. It's not crazy run and gun on their side of the ball. But I like the over of 248.5 so much so that it is a lock, my friends. Yes, welcome to your first lock on the card, the Pacers, the Charlotte Hornets. This thing is going for 250. Just is. So, good talk. Glad we had it. I would like to point out that on the previous slide there, obviously I have my notes section. I'm doing, it's a lot of work here. 10-game slate. I'm working my ass off. Coming off of NBA Live Before Lock on the Stokastic YouTube channel. Giving you all the content I possibly can, even though that content probably doesn't look so good here right now. Devin Vassell, get the ball in the basket. That's the point of that. That's the goal. Anyways, we got Miami here, +5 at Orlando. But wanted to point out that it's above against the spread here. Orlando's really freaking good, by the way. But on the previous one, the over-under was the above me thing. And that's really cool. So producer Jacob, yay, thumbs up for the day. And I'm a terrible host. Keep innovating, child. Anyway, Miami, Orlando, look at this. +5 on the Miami side. Why is that? Well, first of all, Orlando, much improved. So much so that the books can't really set a proper number on them when we have bet them a lot this season. But secondly, well, Jimmy Butler's out. So they get Bam Adebayo back, and then all of a sudden, Jimmy Butler, well, won't play. Good stuff. I don't understand this line. I really, really don't. And in fact, we have play. We start this off with 4 against the spread games. Like we're talking 3 spreads that I have there and a total within the first 4 games before we get to any props. That is not like me. That is not normal, but these are numbers that are going to move. Well, the Cleveland one might not. I talked about that, but this one is going to move because I can't understand why 5 would be here. And the only reason I don't lock this is because there's definitely a chance for Bam Adebayo to do anything and everything for this game. Kevin Love is questionable for this one. If he ends up appearing, and well, he started last time out, which was pretty wild. They do have Tyler Hero back into the mix. That is useful. Plays 33 minutes there. First game in over a month and a half. Put up 25, 3, and 2. Did his normal, I'm going to knock down shots thing, but I'm not going to be good on defense thing. And that's not good against the Timberwolves, who had a massive come from behind win. Go team. Go team. We are riding to the top here of the Western Conference. It's so fun. But Orlando -5. I'm very confused here. Very, very confused. Now, Markelle Fultz, he was close to coming back, and then he didn't come back. And then he was close to coming back, and then he didn't come back. He's out for Wednesday's game here yet again. It sounded as though he was close, but not close enough to be playing here. Joe Ingles, he doesn't really matter to me. He's just a rotational piece at this point in his career. So why is this 5 with nothing else here waiting in the wings on the Miami side? A Miami team that when you go over to any analytical site, period, Miami is sitting at 20th on pretty much 3 different sites that I use to reference nonstop on shows. They are 15-12, but don't let the record fool you. That doesn't mean jack diddly squat when predicting the future. Orlando 16-9. Hey, better record if you want that. But this comes down to 2 teams that aren't going to play with pace. Miami, 25th in pace. And the range of outcomes, yeah, it's a little bit tighter. But 5? This is going to go 5.5, 6. I bet it closes 6.5 come tomorrow. Hey, is Kevin Love actually kind of matters for maybe a half point too. I want to point out Porzingis only moved the line half a point for Boston yesterday. We'll talk about Boston later. And we'll talk about Odd Shopper now, friends. OS Premium Tools. That is now added to everything that we have here under the umbrella at Odd Shopper. Now, it is the reason we are here, the market-based approach, the opportunity to compare lines, to be able to take them and find positive EV, be able to shop for the best lines day in, day out in multiple sports. You don't even have to know about the sports in order to make money on them. You simply sort the tool by positive EV. You bet the things with high OS ratings and you collect money. You pass go, you collect $200 or more than that, depending on what your unit size is. Friends, we have all of that going for the OS Premium Tools, in addition to a fantasy optimizer for Prize Picks and Underdog, in addition to a parlay builder for all of the legal sports books in all of the land, as well as tons of free tools and content, articles up there on the site, so much great stuff at Odd Shopper, so check that out. But then also the Discord access, which is incredible. Myself, Isaiah Suarez, my guy Ben Raza, my dude, everybody there, Eitan Shander, Greg Ehrenberg, everybody you know and love here at Odd Shopper, all in one easy-to-find place. It used to be $20 just for the Discord a week. Now it's $14.95 for the Discord, in addition to the OS Premium Tools and everything that we know and love here at OS. And when you use promo code Lindy, 20% off using that code. Yes, promo code Lindy. Great stuff. So get the expert picks, get the Discord, get the premium tools all together. Birds of a feather now. Promo code Lindy gets you 20% off. We continue on with the picks, my friends. Sign up at the link below. Said we were going to talk about my Timberwolves. They go out. Great come from behind victory there against Miami. Tyler Hero played a lot more minutes than I was expecting there in that spot. That's for sure. But I don't know. Tyler Hero. There's a reason nobody wanted him and that contract. I want the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert. Maybe this trade is going to work out. Maybe the contract for Jaden McDaniels, which looked insane at the beginning of the season, is going to end up being a thing because defensively, we have a championship team. Like, we legitimately, 30 minutes of Jaden McDaniels out there, he only went 5 for 10 from the field, all from 2, 10, 5, and 2. But the 3 blocks, you put Jaden McDaniels' length out there. The block that Anthony Edwards had from the top rope on Tyler Hero. The come from behind defense that you have from guys like Mike Conley that are just out there hustling their ass off every single possession. Even guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who were left for dead, are now functional rotation pieces. And that is more than you could possibly say for Nickeil Alexander-Walker back when he was playing New Orleans with Utah. It is incredible what Minnesota has done here to build the foundation of a championship caliber basketball team. And of course, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, the centers. I'm just so happy. I have no idea how this happened. We're 3.5-point dogs in Philadelphia. I don't get this. Nicholas Batum's already ruled out. Robert Covington's questionable. Marcus Morris Sr., he wasn't able to practice Tuesday. Probably not going to be playing basketball either. This is going to be a thin down Philadelphia rotation ever so slightly. And Batum, I don't think people understand what he adds to a basketball team. He can be a knockdown three-point shooter time and time and time again. Do you know what his three-point percentage is this season? I'll wait for you. Averaging 24 minutes a game between Clippers and here 20 games. Do you know Nicholas Batum's three-point percentage? 46.4%. Let me just tell you, you are not finding that quality of shooter off the bench. And yes, this is Joel Embiid, going to just be tons of him and Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris, who's been much improved. Continue to point those things out, even though he's sub 35% from 3. Just saying, this is not the walkover type spot that this number is kind of leaning to me. And the fact that Anthony Edwards came back and is not on the injury report whatsoever, and our entire 15-man rotation is healthy, why are we getting 3.5? this should have been a lock. It's going to be a like, though. Minnesota plus 3.5. Maybe I had a little money line sprinkle before we get out of here. I'm telling you, I love Joel Embiid. We love the fact that that 35 plus was an absolute print fest and has been for a couple games, but I don't get this line. This is the better basketball team. And we're getting 3.5. Yeah, I know it's on the road. And that's the whole point. But Minnesota plus 3.5. I'm done talking. We have the Knicks, the Brooklyn Nets here coming up next. And yeah, we got the battle in New York. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Christmas, go check out Rockefeller Center. New York, they've been playing good. Julius Randle, nice to cash some tickets there. If you're in the premium Discord, you would know. Yeah, it was good stuff. 43 minutes against the Lakers. 27-14-3. That was an irrational allotment. It should speak to how much Julius Randle wanted to send it right back to the Lakers there, even though the Lakers have a championship since he left and they don't really care. It just is what it is. But the Knicks, my friends. Yeah, I thought about maybe making them the lean here in this spot because I do lean towards getting the one here on their side of things. Cam Thomas, some unsustainable shooting, and we are pissed at them. Very, very pissed at them. We get a really good outcome here from Spencer Dinwiddie. Cam Thomas in the first half. 17, 11, and 8 from Dinwiddie. And they got murdered to Utah? I don't understand Brooklyn. And they've been awesome against the spread, and that's what I've been getting at. We've had money on them in spots, and I'm not going to let one lock deter me from just saying that Brooklyn's been a very profitable team, because overall, they're green on my sheet. It's weird, because the Knicks, I generally think of them as profitable. We haven't been betting a lot of 2-1. 2-1? Well, teams against, so I'm 1-2. I've lost money betting the Knicks this season, but I do think that this is a spot where we can look at props. Might be shorting somebody there in the guard spot. And Spencer Dinwiddie has been playing a lot of minutes here. 36, 40 in the last two. Think this could tone down a little bit here. And here's why. Mikal Bridges, he's got to be playing better. 6 for 17, 4 for 16 from the last two. We had just seen signs of life here from him. He's shooting 39% from three, 47% from the field. Nothing is like all that telling there. And we know the defender he can be, but I do think that there is some negative regression coming very, very soon for him because Cam Johnson has been an absolute zero for them thus far. 38% from three, 44.5% from the field, but he has to be shooting the ball better than 40% if he's going to be a useful member of this Brooklyn team going forward. Defensively, he's still pretty darn good as well. Him and Bridges coming over from Phoenix, that was the whole point. They were able to get something out of that situation for Durant and worked out nicely for them specifically, but you make that trade a million times out of a million if you're both teams, I believe. But as I look at the board now, I do think Spencer Dinwiddie at 28.5 PRA against the Knicks. I know Jalen Brunson is not the most fleet of foot defender, but this is all about possessions. And it's not about what I think somebody is defensively. And whenever people cite that without like the idea of like how many possessions are going to exist in the game, always throws me off a little bit. But pace, 97.2 possessions per 48 minutes, the New York Knicks. Second to last in the association, only beating Chicago, sandwiched between Chicago and Houston. That is slow, friends. That's as slow as it gets in the association. So I'm going to be taking Spencer Dinwiddie under 28.5 as the lean. Hopefully the public can bet this one up a little bit, 29.5 and take an under. That would feel really, really nice. Something closer to that. I think this is going to regress here very shortly here, especially against a team like the Knicks that not a lot of possessions to be had, not a lot of PRA to accumulate. This is probably the most clear-cut play for me on the slate, which sounds weird because it's only a like, and normally when things are that clear-cut, it's like, oh, lock. No, it just means that I think this number is just slightly inefficient and we should bet it. Denver -5 going up against Toronto, and no, I'm not talking about the Denver side of things and Nikola Jokic, although you could like blindly bet treble doubles and be up money here on the season. Yes, that's a real thing that I went back and checked, but 8, 9, and 7 because they blew Dallas out of the water last time. Only 28 minutes from him. That, my friends, would have been frustrating if you had bet Jokic. I am even more frustrated because I took Luka and he didn't play in the fourth quarter and was he was plus 220 when I bet him. So fuck me, right? Sorry. Language. It's Christmas. No, but fuck me. It was terrible. Anyway, we've got Denver here in this side, -5, but I'm looking at a prop on the other side of this game. And this is just one of those things when you start working through rotations and usage and what some of the tendencies are here of late, it just makes it very easy for me to see usage coming up shortly. Here's what I'm getting at. Scotty Barnes has been out of control this season. He started his rookie season 18.9% usage, 20.2% usage last season, and 23.4% this season. That is trailing up from 60th percentile to 70th percentile to 80th percentile. Who knows? Maybe he'll be chucking at 25%, 26% usage here very, very shortly. But something tells me that maintains. And here is where I'm really, really kind of thinking that there's a trend. Dennis Schroeder, you always make fun of me. It is what it is. We've made money on Dennis Schroeder. Sheets green, so it's Christmas. I'll be nice. Dennis Schroeder, we have not bet here in a hot second. I know the last two games weren't good, and then he was like smashing right before that. It is what it is. But I want to point out his usage. Over the course of his career, he's had massive usage times back when he was with Atlanta, 30.1. We can't look at anything with that. But as Scotty Barnes' usage has gone up, you can't have Dennis Schroeder's continuing to come up here in 32 minutes a night. He has a 20.3% usage on the season. I think that's going to go down in an earlier round. And sugar, we're going down swinging. I'm just saying, his assist rate at 28.9%, I think is probably the thing that maintains a little bit more. We'll be looking at assist props of his, not today, because I think they're pretty darn efficient. But in the near future, if people start to sour on him, he's only had 5 and 4 assists the last two. But my main thing is usage. Only 3 for 7 and 4 for 6. 13 total shot attempts his last two. That's abnormally low for me. And Pascal Siakam, I don't think there's any doubt that he will maintain in that 25, 26, 27% usage type area, which leaves one guy, a major omission, somebody who I haven't brought up, OG Anunoby. The man is shooting 37.6% from 3. There's a little bit of wiggle room for that to go up ever so slightly. And obviously we're worried about a 1-game sample size here. So is what it is. But you look at his usage at 18.7%. That would be the lowest usage he's had in 3 seasons. I think we see him start to chuck a little bit more, mainly because from a matchup perspective, him and Scotty Barnes are going to be out on the floor in absolute metric ton here. And we've only seen 33 and 32 minutes here because they got blown out by Atlanta and then blew out Charlotte. I have him in for 38 minutes here. He averages 15 points a game, and yet his points prop is listed at 13.5. With positive regression due for him. I have him at 16 points. This is a good bet. Over 13.5, half viewed it, clear cut, clear as day, OG Anunoby, like button, next game. The Lakers, the Bulls, the least appealing game I have, mainly because I am just sick of these injury reports. Sick of them. Because eventually on some of these road spots for Anthony Davis, questionable entering this one. LeBron James, questionable entering this one. Jared Vanderbilt, probably doesn't matter whatsoever at all, but he's probable now, so that changes a little bit here. He did play, by the way, against the Knicks. Only 14 minutes there. Rui Hachimura carved himself a decent allotment here, I will say. I don't really have anything else to add. I'm just saying this game does not look good to me at all. I think this is the exact... I have this at 4.7 as an efficient spread, so enjoy that. Market-based approach. Looking at numbers, opening numbers. Uniform across the industry. Both of these teams, losers. Somebody's going to win. That's what happens when you have the half points here. I don't see anything in this game. Maybe you get unexpected injury news where actually Anthony Davis and LeBron James sit, but more than likely they play, and I don't really find anything all that appealing there. And you have a lot of injury news that existed on the Bulls side of things, and I thought it could break a certain way. But now Alex Caruso is probable. Patrick Williams is probable. We already know who's out. Levine. We already know who's out. Torrey Craig. I don't care. Everything is efficient in this game. There's no reason to go try to pick on anything here. I know Kobe White has been on the card a lot for us, but he can keep smashing. Books are going to inflate numbers to places you don't want to bet them. That's how this works. So don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the props that you're used to. And I'm not used to seeing Kobe White at these kind of numbers. They're coming, friends. It's coming. Winter is coming.
Are you done with that game?
I'm done with that game. Los Angeles minus 4.5 lean. Goodbye. How about that? You had the voice of God, producer Jacob himself. Or was it? Oh, there he is. There we go. He's back. Anyway, we've got Atlanta. We've got Houston, friends. 6-20 against the spread. What the hell is that? That is bad. And Houston, 15-7-2. Ooh, that's good. That's sexy. That's really nice. You have a nice small spread here. That's less appealing. Atlanta plus 2.5. Oh, wrong way. Plus 2.5. Houston going this direction, and another perfectly efficient game that I don't really have a whole hell of a lot. But there's at least one piece of injury news that is sitting, waiting in the wings, that actually matters here, because Jayshawn Tate and Amin Thompson, even though I want him to be good, like he's not good yet. There's going to be a hot second. There's one piece of massive injury news here. Bogdanovic, who sat out last game, he is questionable entering this matchup, and that's where you could blindly, if there's somehow, some way, where the books just drop these props early. I know DeJounte Murray was sub 20 points last game. I don't think DeJounte Murray is necessarily going to be sub 20 points here, but maybe they show some mercy on us and let us build out some single game parlays or something of the likening early. That is one of the issues about betting basketball in the year of our Lord 2023, or December of 2023, because I know at the beginning of the year, they sure weren't good at this. They've been giving us fewer and fewer props when there's a massive piece of usage waiting in the wings here. It's been frustrating. It sucks. I know it's terrible. And then they introduce the efficient number once the news breaks, and there's generally like half an hour to actually act on it. It sucks. It's not fun. But maybe, we get an opportunity to get DeJounte Murray 20-plus points, because I would love to have that ahead of time. I don't know if this is going to get dropped or not. Again, there are times I'm convinced that, hey, it doesn't really matter all that much. It's like Alec Burks questionable or something like that. Somebody's playing like 10 minutes a game, and yet they won't drop props early enough. They won't give us opportunities to get there early. But I understand they're trying to lower liabilities, especially as they've gone into other states, and props are definitely something that I like to take advantage of. I'm sure you do too. So it is what it is. Everybody's in the business of making money, us included. But DeJounte Murray, 20-plus points. That's going to be a lean. You obviously want Bogdanovic out to be able to make that a thing. I don't know if we're going to get anything here. But these spreads and this total is so efficient that I don't even want to put them as the lean. This isn't a lean, though, friends. This is a lock. BetMGM, claim up to $1,500 in bonus bets when you sign up at the link below. Yes, there is a lovely link to BetMGM that you can click on right down below in the video description box. Get yourself access to another sportsbook. The most integral part of sports betting, especially if you want to be profitable long-term, is having exposure to multiple books. If you only have one book, just one book, you don't have the opportunity to shop for the best lines every single day. So you could be paying minus 130 when you could be laying minus 120, minus 110. There are so many times that one book is drastically different from the others. And with a market-based approach, that's what we're trying to take advantage of, especially the day of when you're sorting in the positive EV tools. And, well, how can you get those positive EV tools? Well, I will tell you, 2 months of them completely free just by checking out BetMGM. You have to deposit $10 or more. You got to check out BetMGM. Take advantage of these bonus bets, but then you get 2 months of OddsShopper tools and Discord access. And if you have any questions whatsoever, hit me up in that Discord at Eric Lindquist. Super easy to find me. That's good stuff, friends. That's good stuff. It's only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But hopefully, you have the opportunity to sign up at BetMGM today, and then you can jump in that Discord and let me know how smart I am all the time, right? Or you can troll me. I don't really give a shit. Until next time, friends. Yeah. No, I have 2 more games. Continuing on our merry way we go. I didn't try to end the show. I would never try to end the show, especially before a lock. And yes, this is one that I am very curious to see what ends up happening. And I'm going to be going towards a money line for a reason. For a very, very strong reason. We've got the Clippers. They're going into Dallas here. They're 3.5-point favorites. You know why? Because the Clippers, they might as well be jelly because they on a roll, baby. 8 straight. Oh, who's getting mad about the James Harden trade now? Oh, I don't know if anybody listened to me at the beginning of the season, but I was adamant that if you're the Clippers and you have Paul George and you have Kawhi Leonard, you have to try to make a splash now because those are massive contracts. You have sold out your future in order to win now. You take risks. And losing Batum, losing Covington, as much as I like them as role players, you go and make this trade 1,000 times out of 1,000 in order to get James Harden in-house. And let me just say, James Harden looks pretty good now that he's like in shape and playing every day and seems to be regimented. Maybe Kawhi's rubbing off a little bit here. The other thing It's just not having to share a floor with Russell Westbrook all that much. It's a great, great thing for everybody involved. And hey, Russ has been great in his 18 to 20 minutes off the bench. He's been fantastic in that role. But that's the role that he should be having at this stage in his career. And I love it. I love watching his energy in those minutes. And they're just winning basketball games as a result. Have they played a murderer's row of teams in this run? Not by any means. We're talking Indy, Knicks, Golden State, Sacramento, Portland, Utah, Denver, Golden State. Now, the Denver one is very clearly the best of those wins. I would say Golden State starting to figure some things out. We'll see how they play against Portland tonight. And then the Knicks, that was an absolute murder that I didn't necessarily see coming. Indy, I thought they were going to take care of business. They did. Great stuff. Cash that ticket. But Dallas, without Derek Lively II, do you know how many times they've just been searching for that guy at the center position who could give easy access for Luka Doncic in the pick and roll to just stuff him home? They've been looking forever. He is out. Will be out for quite some time here with this ankle injury. And now you're looking at Dwight Powell in the starting rotation. They were very unsure about bringing Richaun Holmes in for minutes, which I was a little bit confused about. And they're going to just trot out Markieff Morris out there for 13 minutes a night. This is the team that we get to attack their front court with Ivica Zubac, the hero of the people, the guy who gave me my first 100K win in DFS. I am telling you, this is an absolute smash. My favorite play of the day. Don't think it's remote. Well, Charlotte Indy's obviously a lock, and it's a really good one, but I love the Clippers to win this basketball game. The major reason that I'm not going to say absolute Hulk slam, smash, whatever else on the 3.5 is there's that Paul George news that is waiting in the wings. He is questionable. I know he was going to play against Indy. I know that he only had to play 31 minutes there. It's only missed. This would only be his second game that he's missed all season long, for what it's worth. It's an illness. Lots of illness going around here in the association right now, but this is going around today for me. Clippers, money line lock, attach it to anything you want, or lay minus 150 like I did and just enjoy the ride. Because, yeah, as good as Luka Doncic has been, and he has been absolutely insane this season, you're relying on Dante Exum to keep playing irrationally well and Tim Hardaway Jr. to actually be functional, which I'm not positive is going to continue here. And I know Grant Williams has been a good role player, and I know there's a lot of things here. But here's the thing. Clippers, money line lock. We go on our merry way. Merry frickin' Christmas. Oh, Boston, Sacramento. Interesting. Kristaps Porzingis. He didn't play on Tuesday. Will he play on Wednesday? I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. There's no way of knowing which direction we are going, which way the river's flowing. Now I want to watch Willy Wonka. Not the new one. Well, Wilder one. The first one. It's good. I heard actually the second Willy Wonka was pretty good. Or not the Johnny Depp ones, but like the new one that just came out. Heard it was actually pretty good. That's more interesting than talking about this basketball game with one piece of injury news. One piece of injury news. Obviously, I'm going to lean on the Boston side of things. Money line minus 135. Maybe you just pair that with the Clippers, but like, I don't know. There's a lot of rest potential here for Boston on the back-to-back. I know a lot of you have checked out. I haven't checked out. I'm going to be here. Let's make some money here. That's all I've got for you today. Boston money line lean. More to come. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on Wednesday's slate. Hopefully it can be better than Tuesday. I feel like Tuesday is going to be my worst day yet, like in quite some time. NFL was nice. We were riding 4 straight days. I had to open my big mouth. We had 4 winning days in a row, and now probably not 5. I'm going to hit some putts. I need to go to bed probably too, or something. Anywho, smash that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Thank you, producer Jacob. Good to kick it with all of you. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Wednesday.